Hey there YouTube, this is PolarBear084 here with another new episode in my Bear's Guide to Hunting series. For those who don't know, this is basically a tutorial slash let's play series. I'm currently playing through Monster Hunter, and every time I defeat a new monster, I save the equipment I used, and I then refight it, re-record it, and put it up on YouTube for you guys. I thought it might be more helpful than seeing someone demolish a monster in 3 minutes with godlike weaponry. So yeah, now that you know the premise, for any new people, hello new people, I didn't mean to use that last ration, but we shouldn't need it, hopefully. Okay, today's target is the Khezu, Shadow in the Snow. It's your first real urgent quest, for those of you who don't know. I just adjust my mic a bit, make it quiet. Okay, how's that? That's better. Okay, yeah, let's take the hot drink. So yeah, like I was saying, first real urgent quest. Very difficult the first few times you try. I know I found it very difficult until I discovered something. You can't really fight this monster without being able to guard, and I found that out the hard way. Many potions and many continues, and so I thought today would be the perfect time to introduce a new weapon, and so here it is. This is my greatsword. It is the Golem Blade Plus. Kind of easy to make. You just need a lot of medium bones, if I remember correctly. Let's see, I bought a Psycho Serum so I can find out where he goes. He should come here though, so I'm going to wait a moment until I use it, because the Khezu, if you don't know, dwells in caves, and this is the only cave in the Snowy Mountains, so that a monster can fit in anyway. So it'll either be here or it will be flying around, which it likes to do for some unknown reason. But yeah, as I was saying, Golem Blade Plus, quite easy to make, good attack, and a small amount of green sharpness, which is good. It's useful. So yeah, not really much else to say about that. There is one important thing that you need to know about greatswords though, while we're waiting. They can block R button, just like all things. It's much better at blocking than the sword and shield though, obviously, because it's a much bigger surface area. But the most important thing is... do I hear a Khezu coming? I don't think I do. Most important thing is this. This is its special attack, which you hold down triangle to do. It is known... there's the Khezu. It is known as a triple charge, because it does 3. That's a good way to start. Get out of the way of that. It's 3 times, I believe, as powerful as a normal attack. So if you can do it with a weapon, then do. Best time to do it on a Khezu is just before he does his long-ranged attack, which is where he lifts his head up and blasts lightning bolts. That was perfect timing. Thank you. Oh, that was close. Let's see. He has the ranged attack that will paralyze you if it hits you more than often than not. So if you are in front of him for any reason, get behind him. Do not be in front of him if you can be. Another reason you want to be behind him, that body shock attack. Very powerful, damaging, and also he's quite quick at it, especially when he's raged. And it will hit you if you are in front of him, if you're beside him, if you're above him. Sometimes, if I stood on that log to try and avoid it once, it sent me flying into a wall, so it doesn't work. You just want to be behind him, right here, right by his tail. That I'll show you. I'll stand by it. Don't get too close, as I just did. But just behind his tail is where you want to be, because you can charge up your three strikes and then let go. He falls over a lot, so don't think that he's weak when he does. I've made that mistake once. I just ended up taking far too many risks and ended up getting another continue. So yeah, just here, see, he's not hitting me at all. Even though that is part of his body, he uses it as a ground, so any electricity goes straight into the floor instead of into your chest, which is good. Let's see, he staggers a lot, like I said. He is blind. If you hadn't already noticed, there is no dramatic music, and there is no little creature icon by my name, which you normally get. That means a creature knows you're there. So yeah, what that means is you can run at normal speed. You don't run like a sissy, which is good. His roar's really loud. I think you need earplug. You may even need earplug plus, but I'm not entirely sure. Thing is though, is that earplug for this guy isn't that important. Sometimes he will spam a roar and he will just roar for ever and ever and ever, but he doesn't really have any quick attacks that he could launch on you while you're stunned, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. Anyway, what was I saying about? I honestly cannot remember. I apologise because I know this happens every episode. I get sidetracked and then I completely forget what I was talking about. Oh yeah, you can run at normal speed, which is good. You don't run like a sissy, and your stamina decreases at a normal rate, which is very, very useful considering the amount of times you'll be having to block against this guy. And also, you don't do the running jump anymore. You just roll. You just do a forward roll. So if you guys are trying to avoid that lightning attack, the long-ranged one, don't count on a running jump because you won't do it. I did that once, rolled right into one of them, paralysed me, and then swiftly killed me. So yeah, there's no running jump. Be careful of that. And as you can tell, I have fought this guy a few times, and I mean a few. I hate it when that happens. Yeah, there's a really entertaining Khezu quest actually that I might show you. It's quite funny, just for sheer entertainment value. But that's much later, not right now. Speaking of other quests, didn't really get much of a response last time, so I'll ask you again. I don't mind asking. Do you guys want to see me take on the variants of these monsters? For example, the red Khezu is a variant of this Khezu, stronger, and I don't think it's any quicker. I think it's just a lot tougher. And there's also the blue Yankuku I mentioned last episode. There's also the green Plesioth. Let's see, the Azure Rathalos, but that's not for a while. The purple Gypceros as well. Gypceros I'm going to be doing soon. I think it's my next one actually. Basically a Yankuku, slightly tubbier, and also spits poison all over the place. Which is... oh, get out of the way. Oh dear, that was bad. So I got a bit cocky there. So yeah, do you guys want to see me take those on? I mean, they may be variants, but they're not that much different. Oh yeah, by the way, when he's enraged, which he just became, he's faster, so he's not really, you can't really count on him being slow anymore, which is probably why I got hit by that. Oh, there you go. You see, now that is why it's useful. You best to do this with a great sword or a sword and shield, and if you don't use them, ranged is good as well. Bow and arrow. Bow and arrow is the best just because you can't run out of ammo. I know you have normal shot level 1, but that is so weak, it's just not worth it. So yeah, as I was saying, I could take on the variants for you, and an idea I had last episode that I mentioned, I could do it with weapons that you guys chose. I could do it, if you guys wanted me to do it with a bow and arrow, I could. If you wanted me to do it with gunner materials, I could give it a shot. Or a hammer, or a great land, the gunland, sorry. Anything. It's up to you. Or I could just show you how best to kill them with the weapons that I originally used, just normally. It's entirely up to you. I don't mind if we do it, if we don't do it. I can see arguments for both sides, so I need your help, basically. Let me know what you guys would want to see. But yeah, let's see. The Khezu, there's not really much else to say about him. He's just don't get hit by those electrical attacks. try and stay behind him as much as you can. Lances, I must admit, are good against the Khezu. I just never really agreed with them. Because anyone who's used lances will know, like I said, you see I bounced off a geoprey. It's not as sharp as a sword and shield, even if you have green sharpness or even yellow sharpness, because it's so big. But yeah, lances, because you can hide behind your lance and still attack. That way he would hardly ever hit you with the body shock attack. So that might be a consideration as well. So sword and shields, lances, and also if you want, oh, I'm going to get hit by that. Yeah. And if you wanted to, you could do it with great swords as well. I would recommend great swords the most because I think they're really, really, really useful. I just think they're a great, great weapon because you can do so much damage with them, and yet they're also quite protective. But people like to use hammers, so if you want to use hammers, you can do that as well. But it's best to be able to block, just because he is so annoying if he hits you with the lightning, like you've seen quite a few times. The best strategy is to just avoid getting hit. That was very, very lucky. Oh yeah, if he stands still for no apparent reason, that means he's weak. It's a very strange weakness sign, but that's the one he's been given. He can't help it. He will limp as well, but considering he flies everywhere and jumps around a lot, you probably won't see him limping. So look out for that. He just stands still for a moment or two. And then he'll probably fly away unless you're already in area 3, in which case he won't. He will just keep on attacking you. But area 3 is his home area. It's where he'll go to die. It's where you're most likely to find him. So if you can't find him, he's most likely there. But I have stocked up on Psycho Serums. I know I didn't use it for this one, but I have. So there shouldn't be too much of me running around wondering where on earth they are in the later episodes. But yeah, really, that's all there is to say about this guy. I have a new armor set actually. While we're here, it is. You won't be seeing it for a while. To be honest, I'm not using it for any of the new quests, any of the current ones. But at least I'll be able to get rid of this old battle armor. It served me well, but I think it's time to hang it up and get a new set, because these guys are doing a lot of damage to me. I just try and avoid getting hit by them. By the way, if you do get hit by that jumping electro one, you will die. There's no bones about it. That's going to kill you. Because he's enraged, and that body shock does a lot of damage, and it's combined with his jump attack as well. So if he hits you with it, you're either going to be so close to death it doesn't matter, or you will be dead. So yeah, avoid that whenever possible. Even if you have to run right at him, just avoid it. Matter of fact, the best place to be when he does it is either behind him or around about here, because see, he just jumps almost right over you. Of course I had to say that, and then he did it. That's just that's the rule of the universe, isn't it really? You say it and it happens. Right, he's no longer enraged, so I can just beat him up now, because if you hadn't already noticed or guessed, I don't like Khezus. I don't like most of the monsters in this game. I love the game, but the monsters are so hard, it's annoying. And I could have dodged that, I think. It was close. But yeah, at least I was able to. Yeah, they see sometimes he will just roar over and over again, and it is very, very kind of him to do, because then you are completely incapacitated. Don't you dare. Yeah, sorry this is taking so long. I mean, normally it doesn't take this long. I think it's just because I haven't been keeping an eye on my sharpness. Well, I know it was far too late to block, but it's just a knee-jerk reaction, so which is good to have. You won't, if you don't know quite. There you go. Dead, finally. If you don't know quite when to block when you first get great swords, don't worry about it. You'll get the hang of it. It's different to swords, just because it takes slightly longer to start blocking with them, because obviously it's so big. But yeah, that's my first quest with a greatsword, I suppose, as you could say. There will be a couple more coming up. I'll only ever use them if it's entirely necessary, because I'm kind of liking swords and shields recently. I find them quite handy, just because of how quick they are. As a person who's been using greatswords for the longest time, it's nice to have some speed about you. Oh yeah, one thing you don't want to do: don't ever run with a greatsword, ever. Make sure you've got it. Make sure when you finished attacking, you put it away, because you are so slow. I mean, or rolling is important. But look at that; he just sort of stalks around. So yeah, that's important. Just when you've attacked, put it away, run out of the way, or just block and roll out of the way. Don't ever keep it out, because it is so slow. Very unlike the sword and shield. But yeah, I guess that's the end of that, really. If you want medium monster bones, don't attack Khezu, because it's not worth it. Electro sacks, yes, and pale extracts as well. If you didn't know where to get them, that's where you get them. Very annoying, because they'll normally only ever give you 1 or 2, and you sometimes need about 3 or 4, especially if you're going for the Khezu armor. But I don't recommend it that much. There's not that much to it. No real skills. But yeah, I guess that's the end of that. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned something. Yeah, I've been Polar Bear 84. I'll see you guys again.